Greg and Dan Show, WMBD, another cold run. Hey, there's a cool thing. We've been telling you about it for a week or so now. It's the PTx Winter Conference. It starts today down in Tremont. President of PTx, I can't believe it, Danny. He's up at 6:40 in the studio. We don't have a lot of 6:40 guests. President Brian Sorbe. Hi, Brian.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you for being so cool to get up this time of day.
Yeah, well, it's agriculture, right? We got to get up.
We did think that. We had that thought. We were like, well, this is farming.
You can't serve farmers if you don't get out of bed in the morning, right?
Right.
So years ago, we had a pioneer in broadcasting, Colleen Callahan, and I remember we worked it years ago, and she had this thing called DTN, and we're all like, wow, what is that? And so Greg and I always feel agriculture, people don't realize that, has always embraced technology ahead of a lot of sectors.
I think, I think
absolutely,
ag has more tech breakthroughs early on than other industries.
And I would say
which is what you do at PTx.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, our purpose is really it's a farmer first mentality. All we do is innovate on behalf of farmers.
Okay, give me an example. Dan and I obviously are not farmers, so give me an example of something that most of our listeners would understand. That PTx, by the way, you are related to precision planting, so we'll get to all that in a second. But
sure.
PTx, so give me a technology that you know that most people would get.
Well, I think there's really two that are most noteworthy. So one has been around for quite a while, which is the precision planting product line. Originally invented down in Tremont, right here in central Illinois, automates every function that a farmer has on his planter. And so what precision planting did decades ago was effectively turn a planter into a highly precision instrument and automated piece of equipment.
And by the way, folks who travel 74 and 155, it's that giant white building out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've got a big warehouse in Morton. We've got our R&D facility in Tremont, and then we also have a research farm in Pontiac, Illinois. So a really strong presence here in central Illinois. About a third of our staff globally is right here in central Illinois.
We'll get to the global part in a minute.
Yeah.
What's the second thing?
Second thing is self-driving tractors. Yeah. You know, that's the most exciting part of agriculture these days, and what everybody wants to talk about is autonomous farming. You know, driverless cabs and things like that, which PTx is right in the middle of.
Is it programmed, or am I looking at it on a screen back in my office? How am I doing that?
It's kind of both of those things.
Okay.
So it's all about planning the traffic pattern that you want your equipment to run in the field ahead of time, and then the tractor effectively goes out there and makes all of the maneuvers that it needs to in order to get the job done as efficiently as possible.
It's not unlike the CAT autonomous mining trucks, right?
Yeah, in fact,
same technology.
Yeah, autonomy in agriculture is following a very similar trajectory as mining. You know, both of these technologies are growing up at a similar pace. It's really exciting.
Well, that is exciting. and the driverless cab or the driverless tractor. Does it matter what tractor I have? Am I buying a tractor from you? Is this equipment that comes on
that's
after?
That's the beauty of PTx and makes us completely different is the fact that we're developing this innovation for what we call a mixed fleet. So most farmers do not have 100% of a single brand in their fleet. They've got a mix of different brands.
Right.
That's what makes PTx strategy so unique is the fact that we're developing these technologies for farmers who have basically any piece of equipment.
That's amazing.
You know, what I just find interesting about this is getting people to work for you. They may not know anything about farming, but they know how to apply the tech. I think so. You can attract people from various colleges or whatever who are into the coding and marry the two, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, inside of PTx, you got a wide variety of skill sets. You know, it's an amazing team. Some are farming experts. They come right off the farm. Some of them are actively farming in central Illinois, you know, right now. But then there's some who, you know, further to your point, they come from a more of a technology background, just a pure technology background. We'll take them as well, and we can teach them all of the aspects of farming we need to. So we need the best and brightest inside of our company for sure.
We talk about you, maybe not PTx properly, but precision planting often because once a week, we have Chris Setti from the Greater Peoria Economic Development Council on our show.
Oh.
And frequently, you guys come into the conversation because you're a great example of things that are happening. And the global reach you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I want to talk about that. How do you define that? And what does that mean for us here and the economy locally, and what does it mean for PTx?
Well, I think it's the scale of agriculture is absolutely a global industry and extremely diverse. Our mission is to serve farmers all over the world. And what's cool about being right here in central Illinois is that the world's leading technologies that are literally going to change farming for the future are being developed right here in Peoria's back door.
You know, I think I'm a guy who grew up here and lived here most of my life, right? And so I've been around farming and ag and farmers and all that. I always forget that people farm other places.
Well, you know,
I forget. There's a guy in India doing it. And yeah, he needs the same stuff we do. Right?
In China, or a good example is in Africa, where it's hot. Sometimes the conditions or the resources they have, they can't farm it, and this would make up for it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing about farmers across the globe, they all share one common challenge, which is they have very high costs. They have labor challenges. Right. They don't get paid for their product nearly as high as they would like to, or what maybe some of us think they should be. And so they're trying to carve out efficiencies and productivity gains anywhere that they can. And that's exactly where we fit in.
Danny, I wonder if farmers in other countries are like the farmers we've known our whole broadcast lives here. When you ask them how it's going, I don't know. It's not going that great. I do want to ask about, we didn't get to it, the economy here and how PTx and precision planting and all is impacting us. I mean, this is one of the great stories, right, of the last number of years.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're one of the leading employers around here. I mean, if you look at PTx, we're a division of AGCO. AGCO is a very large leading equipment manufacturer in the world. PTx is their technology division. Okay, and that's what I'm leading. Right. Inside of that division, we got about 1,500 teammates all over the globe. Okay. A third of those teammates are located right here in central Illinois between the Morton facility, the Tremont facility, and the Pontiac facility. So, as far as local impact, not only are we developing cutting-edge technology, but farmers in this area are who we're serving and who we're modeling a large part of the business after. And so even though we serve global agriculture and, banana farmers in Africa and all of those kind of, like you say, bespoke things that we don't think about every single day, the impact of the local community in the local area is significant.
So the farm in Pontiac, that's where you get to test all this out, right?
Yeah.
And is it because CAT has their proving grounds? Is it like your proving grounds?
It's very similar. Yeah, there's 480 acres over in Pontiac, and what we're doing is we're doing real agronomy trials there, cool. So real research. And that's what this PTx Winter Conference is all about. It's not really a sales event. It's more of an education event.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah,
so what can people expect when they come?
There's somewhere between 400 and 500 farmers every single day that pour into the Tremont facility, and the team, 100% done by PTx folks. And what they do is they get up and they share, transparently all of that agronomic research that we've been doing over on the PTI farm in Pontiac, and it's fascinating. Farmers really drink it up because it's relevant to their operations.
I know it's geared towards farmers, but if there's someone knows someone in college. I don't think not all colleges are back, but they're on the tech side, and they go, I would like to see some of this stuff.
I would encourage anybody to come and see it. It's open to everybody. The content is geared towards farmers. That's our mission. Mm-hmm. But anybody who has an interest in agribusiness at all and the technology that we're developing would benefit at Winter Conference for sure.
PTxWinterConference.com has all the information.
That's right.
It starts later on this morning.
It starts today. We're already sold out for today. The registrations are full.
Good.
But yeah, they pour in every year, and it's not just in Tremont. We actually do small satellite events out at 9 other locations around North America. So some of the content is actually simulcasted, but we have PTx personnel there as well to do little miniature versions of the Winter Conference.
Greg and I were intrigued that every session something new.
It will be unveiled.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Every day.
We're hoping you have like a guy that yells out "ta-da" or something.
Ta-da! Yeah. There is some of that. Every day we plan to reveal a new innovation that's going to impact farmers, and that's exclusive. We save some of that specifically for Winter Conference.
We have a huge favor to ask you. Can you give us 11 more minutes?
Absolutely.
You can. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. Then we're going to talk about you. We want to talk about where you come from, because you're new to our area, right?
Sure.
Although grew up in central Illinois, or at least in the Midwest, I should say.
Sure.
We'll get back and talk more with Brian Sorbe. He's the president of PTx. Their winter conference, again, starts today, PTxWinterConference.com. New friend alert, Dan. Brian Sorbe, president of PTx. Their PTx Winter Conference starts this morning, ptxwinterconference.com. Today's sold out, but you can't, and by sold, I mean it's a free event, but it's locked up with everybody.
You do need to register.
We prefer that everybody registers. I mean, and you're never going to get 100% capacity, but we've done all the registrations we can do.
All right,
for today, anyway.
Let's learn about you. Brian Sorbe is the new president.
Sure.
You've been on that job for what, 6 months or so?
About 6 months, yeah.
And live here now from where? Where do you come from?
We moved here from Texas, actually, Central Texas.
I'm sorry that we brought 0-degree weather for you.
I'm a product of the Midwest, so we've adjusted. My wife is as well.
Okay,
so
good.
we've readjusted and reacclimated and faced the reality.
Otherwise, you're hearing this. Brian, do you know it's 0 outside right now?
The memories are flooding back, so we're doing okay.
What's your resume? Tell me what were you doing before?
Well, I've been in ag technology my whole life, for the most part, most of my adult life anyway. I got out of college. I went to work for a company in Jackson, Minnesota that was later acquired by AGCO. So my career actually started with AGCO, where ultimately cool. I'm at now.
Right.
And back then in the mid 90s, it was unheard of to use GPS and some of these technologies in farm equipment. But I happened to be working for a company that was way out on the leading edge of that. And back when a very basic system would cost a farmer, $30,000,
right?
We've come a long way since then, and I've seen a lot of different things in the industry. And so I, went from that role into more of a software-facing kind of company that automated even feed mills and livestock nutrition software, and came back to what I would say the crop side of the business, more of like the field functions, and spent about 15 years with a competitor of PTx, and then I took a few months off just to reset and recalibrate, did some consulting work, and then this opportunity opened up at AGCO, and I jumped all in.
Well, we're glad you did, and we're glad you were kind enough to come up early this morning to the studios, and I know you got a busy few days here with the
We do.
We were talking kind of off air. You still haven't fully adopted, the ceiling's high of drone technology, right?
For sure. Drones, drones have been around. They started getting popular, 2014, 2015. But the use of them was all over the place, and farmers were having a little trouble associating value with the use of the technology. But we've come a long way as an industry since then, and now drones have reemerged. And the way they're being used, I think, creates quite a bit of value for the farmer. They're bigger. Mm-hmm. They can carry a payload now, which was a challenge early on. So now farmers can get into the field with chemical and spot treatments and even some scouting opportunities late in the season. The crop's up, the canopy's full. Very difficult to get machines in there. You don't want to compact the soil. And so if you can fly a drone in to target specific areas, there's a lot of value in that. And so it's something we're definitely looking at.
Blows my mind to think about that. And this is a dumb thing to ask because this is really ignorant.
Sure.
But is there any payload usage with a drone to feed cattle or feed livestock in it at all?
Feeding so far, not real popular, but drones are definitely being used in the livestock industry to track the whereabouts of your cattle.
Okay,
that's becoming very common, where if you need to just make sure that you're counting the herd.
Everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Robotic corn detasselers instead of teenage kids.
Oh, have we replaced the teenage kid of detasselers?
Yeah, for the most part. And also, I don't know if you walked beans or rode beans as a kid, but that was something I always had to do. Those days are gone too. It's fond memories.
Brian, thank you for coming in. First of all, thank you for allowing us to tell the world about you guys. The PTx Winter Conference starts today. If you would like to go, it is free. Registration is required. Today's tally is full, but look for the rest of the week. And we hope to see you again.
And absolutely. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Real quick, if people are like, hey, I may want to work for that company, would they...
absolutely. We're always looking for talent in the organization. Anybody who's interested in serving farmers.
Do you need a morning show? Do you need a morning radio show?
Hey, it wouldn't hurt.
We'll see you, man. It's good to see you. That's Brian Sorbe, PTx, and we wish them the best this week at their big conference in Tremont.